Your eyes do not deceive you, this is actually a Seat, but because it has the same engine and powertrain as a VW Golf R, it's quite fast. But what about the Cupra name, you might ask? Well, that's how all fast Seats were called not so long ago. The Cordoba Cupra, Ibiza Cupra, and the very popular Leon Cupra. But Seat have ditched the Cupra naming from their lineup because they've actually created a performance sub-brand for all their fast cars. The brand is called Cupra, and the Ateca, the car I'm driving today, is their very first model. It's basically a Seat Ateca with more aggressive styling, copper accents everywhere, and some added oomph. It has wider front intakes, 19-inch wheels, a rear spoiler, and quad exhausts. Real ones. On the inside there are no big changes to report, there's Cupra logos all over the place and some Alcantara on the seats and the doors. Under the bonnet there's a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine producing 300 horsepower, and drive goes to all four wheels via the excellent 7-speed DSG transmission. There's also a louder exhaust and 4-piston Brembo brakes all around. So without further ado, let's find out how this thing drives. It leans about in the corners, of course, because of the high center of gravity, but it's surprisingly nimble for an SUV. But even with everything turned up to 11, the ride isn't ruined by the stiffened suspension, and the car remains perfectly comfortable even when you're just cruising around in Cupra mode. But if you pull over in a safe spot, turn the ESP off, stomp on the brakes with your left foot and floor the throttle with the right one, launch control in a family crossover SUV thingy, right? Why not? North to 100 km per hour is dealt with in 5.4 seconds and top speed is 240 km per hour. It's properly fast, it packs a lot of punch, and the acceleration off the line is quite brutal. But once you get going, everything sort of settles down. The brakes are phenomenal, they're very effective, the pedal feel is excellent, and they stop the car exceptionally well in its tracks. And if you ask me, this is a must-have option when you spec your Cupra ATECA. And because of all that I told you so far, this car feels surprisingly similar to a VW Golf R actually. It's uncanny how a tall-ish SUV can be engineered to drive like a hot hatch. The steering, although pretty numb, is quick and precise, there's tons of grip thanks to the 4-wheel drive system, and the exhaust note is pretty good too. Driving position is quite good, you don't really feel like you're sat in an SUV, it's not that tall. Visibility is very good all around, and overall this car is a very pleasant place to be in. I like it. I like it a lot actually. But of course there's some annoying things about it as well. Like for example the amount of road noise that gets inside the cabin. It gets quite loud in here when you're driving at motorway speeds, for example. And I also think that this interior is kind of bland, because it doesn't quite match how the exterior looks like. This is more or less the same interior that you get in a standard Ateca, but that's kind of it as far as complaints go. And despite all the specs and how manic this car seems to be on paper, it's actually quite relaxing to drive. It's comfortable, the steering is light, and the transmission is smooth and refined. So I guess what I'm saying is that Seat actually nailed it with the new Cupra ATECA. It's properly fast and fun to drive on B-roads, but when you need it to, it does the comfortable and practical SUV part just as well. It can carry around 4 adults and their stuff with the utmost of ease, there's plenty of storage spaces throughout the interior, and the 4-wheel drive system makes it capable in any weather conditions. So what's my take on the Cupra ATECA? Well, I think Seat played it quite safe with this car. They just grabbed their compact SUV, shoved a Golf powertrain and engine underneath it, and changed the badges obviously and put it on sale. I can't deny that I hoped their first car would have been a hot hatch, but I can't really complain about this car either. It's quite a compelling package, this one. So if you want to buy a Golf R, but you can't really afford it, you might as well give this car a try. Because despite the obvious visual differences between the two cars, they have very similar personalities. But that's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Seat and Cupra Sweden, for lending me this car. Thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.